one of these the poor child who died had a sibling at the school. So clearly there's a whole class of children there who are going to be affected, aren't there? But and also, presumably, all the children in the school.
All the children, all the families and the people who came to try and help people at the scene, as well as the driver of the truck. But the children in the school, they'll obviously be talking about it a lot today. It'll probably be pretty much the only thing they'll be talking about. They'll be trying to come to terms with what happened and in their own way trying to work out how it cannot happen to them as well, because this was a normal day. There was nothing unusual to say anything like this was going to happen, and suddenly somebody at their school, her sister, is no longer there.
And they've been offered bereavement counselling within the school, haven't they? And they're all back to school today. But they've said, very sensibly, I think, people don't have to turn up on time. They're going to try and make it as relaxed as possible because people will be dealing with it very differently. I wonder also about the parents of the youngsters there. In fact, actually, parents everywhere. Because as soon as you saw that, the first thing you thought is that could have been me at my children's school gates. It feels like just for the blink of an eye and fate happens. So what would you advise parents? How do they cope with it?
Oof, big one, because it's one of the hardest things, I think, with any death, is if it happens suddenly with no warning, there's no chance to prepare for it, there's no chance to say what you want to say. And so I'm guessing that the parents of all those children at that school today and yesterday will be holding their children a little bit closer, a little bit longer, telling them that they love them. And
is that the best thing to do? So, for instance, if children are saying, oh, I've heard about, like my children did yesterday, they said, oh, there was a terrible crash at a school, Mum, I've heard about it. What is the correct way to give them the right advice at that point, or the right words? How do you find the right words?
I think talk to them, let them talk. Understand that they're still processing it in their minds, as you as an adult are, that it's a huge shock. Let them talk and work out ways for them to understand that it's a one-off incident, that every truck that goes past isn't going to mow them down, because in their minds that could be what they're thinking. They could be already traumatised by it and thinking that any time a lorry or a car hoots, something's going to happen. So it's finding ways for them to know that it's okay, it was a one-off, that they are safe, and to look with them at ways that they can stay safe as well. So if they want to say, what's going to happen, if this happens, then you find answers for them. You say, OK, if we saw a truck coming, what would we do?
Right.
If it was coming towards us, we could go that way, or we could run that way, so they don't feel helpless.
Help them, empower them.
Very Absolutely, empowerment is vital in this situation.